here to go on an Easter egg hunt, and this is Nerdist News. We made it! We are finally on the other side of Zack Snyder's controversial but record-breaking Batman v Superman Dawn of Justin. And while we've already broken down what's coming next for the DC Extended Universe and why an R-rated cut is going to make a life-size Batman bust uncomfortable.
Think of the children!
You know what we haven't done yet? Explored all the movie's sweet Easter eggs. Let's take a look. Spoilers, obviously. First up, remember when Perry White told Clark, "It ain't 1938 anymore"? Well, this might shock you, but 1938 was the year that Action Comics #1 dropped, debuting Superman for the first time. Deep cut snads, good one. And speaking of Action Comics, when Wallace Keefe, the guy who lost his legs during the Zod attack, is prepping to deface the Superman statue, we see on his wall of newspaper clippings a drawing of Superman throwing a car straight from the cover of Action Comics 1. We get it. Batman v Superman team, you love Superman. But moving on to some more of the obscure DC characters who popped up in the film, and there were many, you may not have realized that Lois's pal, who winds up being a CIA agent before getting blown away, was none other than Jimmy Flippin' Olsen. Sorry, bud. Looks like you're out of the DCEU. It makes me sad. But it's Jimmy Olsen. And Lex's Russian henchman was meant to be none other than Anatoly Knyazev? Knyazev?
Yeah, sure.
AKA the KG Beast. And the scene where he gets killed, or at least turned into a KG BBQ, was a direct shot-for-shot rip from this wall-smashing scene in The Dark Knight Returns, obviously a huge influence on BVS. And the other big comics influence the film had, the death and return of Superman, also got some visual nods like Supes' black and silver coffin, which hinted at the color scheme of his Daros suit. But Snyder didn't just hide DC Easter eggs in the flick. I mean, we know the dude is obsessed with Star Wars, so of course he brought his back-and-forth Twitter troll fest with J.J. Abrams into the film, despite J.J. definitely being over the joke for at least 5 months. That's right, did you notice Lex's ID in prison? 16TK421. Star Wars fans will recognize TK421 as Luke Skywalker's Stormtrooper cosplay number in Star Wars Episode 4. And hey, reaching way back into DC lore, when Batman is attempting to save Martha, he takes several gunshots to the back of his cowl, and yeah, it looks like Snyder pulled out his long boxes to find the Larry Hama Scott McDaniel run of Batman from the 2000s, in which Batman takes a bullet point blank to the forehead, but survives because his mask is bulletproof. And of course, that crazy future Flash appearance might have been a reference to Injustice, but it's way more likely that it was a shout out to Crisis on Infinite Earths, which, judging by how often Zack Snyder has brought up the multiverse in interviews over the past few months, might be where the DCEU is headed. If there's one thing you can say about Batfleck, besides the fact that he apparently loves killing people, it's that he has lots of bad dreams. And guess what? Those dreams also had Easter eggs in them. Did you notice the creature coming out of Martha's grave in one of Batman's nightmares? Well, while to normies it might seem to represent his personal demons coming to life, Bat fans will recognize Man-Bat, aka Kirk Langstrom, the mad scientist who infused himself with Bat DNA. Since we're seeing an older version of Batman in BVS, it's possible he's actually gone toe-to-toe with Man-Bat in the past, and if we're lucky, it means we will see him again in the future. And for those who sat through some of the credits, you may have noticed that the two cops who find Batman at the top of the film were named Rucka and Mazzucchelli, a nod to Greg Rucka, who wrote both action and detective comics back in the day, and David Mazzucchelli, who was the famed artist on Batman Year One. Also named in the credits, Emmett Vale, the guy who was hunting down the kryptonite for Lex in India, was the same guy who named kryptonite and was partially responsible for creating Metallo in the post-crisis continuity. Remember when Metallo was rumored for BVS? And finally, let's go beyond the movie and get into that deleted scene Warner Brothers dropped this morning that has the internet scratching its collective head. At first glance, it's a confusing mess of imagery showcasing Jesse Eisenberg and the Genesis Chamber communing with a nanotech hellbeast. Well, allow us to bring you some clarity. First of all, those 3 boxes are mother boxes from Darkseid's war planet of Apocalypse. Mother boxes have all kinds of strange properties, as seen in the Star Lab scene where Cyborg is born. In fact, one of their fancy features is two-way communication. So basically, what we're seeing is Lex FaceTiming with one of Apocalypse's rulers. Based on the shape of his helmet, we're going to guess it's Darkseid's uncle, Steppenwolf. scene here in the New 52 for comparison. Looks like Lex is getting some insider knowledge about Darkseid's plans, which might explain why he's straight up Jim Carrey as the Riddler bonkers in that last scene. But what Easter eggs did you guys notice? Any that we missed? I suppose this would be a good time to talk about whether you loved or hated the movie. Can't wait to see those in the comments. Sad Affleck, what do you think? Make sure you don't miss our other BVS videos, including our exclusive Wonder Woman Shield inscription translation project and our prediction of the future of the Justice League, just to name a few. Dan will have more on the future of the DCEU this week on the Dan Cave, and don't forget to keep checking Nerdist.com and come back tomorrow for more Nerdist news. Hey guys, ding ding ding, the bell has been rung, ding 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 ding!
Stop! For the love of God, stop!
You don't even have any arms, so now what are you gonna do?